Go.
Good evening. First it was the BRICS, now the mints are the ones to watch. The BRICS are Brazil, Russia, India and China, four emerging economies put together in 2001 by Jim O'Neill to show that the Western investors needed to take note of what was happening in the post-World War global economy. Now O'Neill has put together the mints, a name first coined by the fund managers Fidelity for what he thinks will be the second generation of emerging market pace setters: Mexico, Indonesia, Nigeria and Turkey. The mints share some common features. They all have big and growing populations with plentiful supplies of young workers. That should help them grow fast when ageing and shrinking populations will lead inexorably to slower growth rates in many developed countries and China over the coming decades. And they are nicely placed geographically to take advantage of large markets nearby, with Indonesia close to China, Turkey on the edge of the European Union, and Mexico on America's doorstep. Nigeria's geographical advantages are less immediately obvious, although it does have the potential to become the hub of Africa's economy at a time when the continent is enjoying a sustained period of strong growth. Western investors who piled into BRIC stock markets expecting to make a packet have had their fingers burned and in recent years would have done better keeping their money at home. Only China has really lived up to the growth hype and is now the world's second biggest economy. At one point, India looked likely to rival China as the emerging market powerhouse, but it had a wretched 2013, suffering from high inflation and a rising current account deficit and a run on the rupee. Russia is seen as an over-dependent on its oil and gas sector and unfriendly towards foreign investors. Brazil, like many other emerging economies, proved vulnerable to hot money flows. Turkey and Indonesia, both countries where the bullish investor mood of a couple of years ago has been replaced by a cautious approach. Of the two, Turkey is the more immediate concern, with the International Monetary Fund calling late last year for interest rates to be raised by 2.5 percentage points to tackle 8% inflation. Nigeria is seen as more attractive in part because it has shown strong growth despite its long-term structural problems: power shortages, corruption and a poor education system. In one sense, the very notion of BRICS and mints is helpful. It illustrates the way in which the economic balance of power has shifted from the developed to the developing world over the past 20 years, and will continue to do so over the next 20. I've been Toby Mallinson. Good night.